Hello everyone, this is Cholera, and welcome to set 4 of KTF versus SKT1. It's been a little bit of a break, to be honest. It's been like 4 or 5 days since we did the beginning of this cast. Or I guess it can't be 4 or 5 days, it's been like 3 days. But we're excited to be bringing you this game. This was originally slated to be the commentary of the week at sc2g.com, but since we found out that it was commentary of the week after we began the series, I'm going to be working on it with Rise here, and perhaps Rise will do another commentary of the week. But what do you think about these two players here? I mean, Fantasy versus Flash. Both have been interesting players in the last year. I'd say Fantasy is on the way up, and Flash is kind of, I don't know. His CPUs are a bit overheating, I think.
Yeah, Flash is definitely trading in a sideways pattern right now. I mean, it's just not going too well for him. He's got his up days, he's got his down days, but overall, he's staying pretty flatlined. I think that Fantasy, on the other hand, you're right. He definitely is and has been going up, and I think he'll go up some more. And the question is Flash, of all people, going to be a stepping stone to Fantasy's rise to fame? I don't know. But either way, it should be an exciting game. And I do want to apologize to those who thought they were going to see this as commentary of the week. You guys can pretend this is commentary of the week, and we'll just do an extra one. And it'll be, as Collar suggested, the second place commentary of the week finisher, which should be good enough for you guys, I hope. Anyway, this is being played on Destination. Let's get the colors off before we go too far. Looks like Flash is in the red at the 12 o'clock position, and we got Fantasy at the 6 o'clock position. So right away, do you think that there'll be any effect from the locations on the map where they're starting it all, or you think that'll be a non-effect in a TVT?
I would say, I mean, it could. I would say there's pretty much no effect in TVT. I mean, I guess there could be some effect with like floating barracks or something like that. You might be able to play something closer on one end or another, but I haven't been able to see any. Lee Young Ho Gallery celebrating perhaps his 100th win of some sort. I don't think it's his 100th Pro League win. I don't think he's been around that long, but maybe he has. Fantasy actually historically has been losing to Flash overall. Actually, it might be his 100th win. Jeez. He's played like 250 games, so yeah, it's very possible.
And he's really good.
Yeah, and he's really good. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. But looks like we've got Flash just building a supply depot in the corner of his base. Smart idea, actually. It's going to be able to see a floating barracks just a second earlier. And yeah, I mean, I think this map plays to Fantasy's strengths. There's a lot of places where you can go for drops. This kid loves his vultures, and TVT vultures are probably more useful than TVZ. It's a good map for Fantasy. And Flash, I've seen get into trouble on this map before in the past. I remember there was this game where he got pinned in his base the entire time, and he just couldn't leave. So I mean, Flash is once vaunted TVT. I would say recently has been slipping quite a lot.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you, actually, because as of late, I can't remember any spectacular games where it was like, wow, Flash just showed why he's the best player in the world. I mean, he's definitely up there in the top, I don't know, 5 to 10. Well, probably the top 5. But I don't see that play where it was like, oh my God, Flash is just like a step above the S-class player. So, but on the other side of the coin is that he can bring that out randomly. I don't know if it's by will or not, but Flash, we know, has been overheating a lot as of late. He's been burnt out. He's had that eye twitch that we had explained to us by an eye doctor. And, it's one of those things where I think he's overworked. And, I got to say, I wonder sometimes if he's almost losing his passion for the game a little bit. I don't think quite yet. But when you see a player kind of just slump down, not trying as hard, or even if they seem to be trying as hard, they're getting frustrated. I feel like that's where Flash is right now in his career, and I hope that it doesn't actually remain. It looks like, Flash is able to scout the base of Fantasy. He managed to squeeze that SCV, and he's going to see exactly what's going on. And Fantasy's going to try to take that down with that Marine as quick as possible. But I don't know, Collar, you think that this kid is taking too much of the KTF pressure, and he's just kind of getting sick and tired of it all?
I think he's just taking too much of the KTF juice, and by that, of course, I mean KTF has been feeding his kids stimulants. I mean, they've been keeping him up all night, doing stuff and playing games and overclocking his CPU and all sorts of crap like that. Actually, the reason why his eyes twitch, according to some of our fans, is according to them at least, KTF coach has said he has mild Tourette syndrome. Don't know how reliable that is. Well, anyway, let's go back to the game. Flash going for a 2-fact, Fantasy going for a fast expand, and this could be bad for Fantasy if he doesn't spot it. Doesn't look like he will be able to. Right now, he can't know whether Flash is going for some kind of rush or if he's also just going for the same build, except he's got his command center inside of his base. You know, the last time they met together, actually, Fantasy versus Flash was on a great game on Coliseum, where Flash went for this bizarro, like, marine tank drop against Fantasy, who went for a 14 command center. Yeah, very, very interesting game. Flash was going for a bizarro, build, and it didn't work out for him at all, so he lost. This time, though, Fantasies might be going for vulture drops. Do you think that's what's going on here, or maybe cloak rates? I don't know.
Maybe he thinks he's playing a Zerg, and he just, like, totally forgot that, oh, wait,
yeah,
no,
maybe he's
is
got
Flash.
one build.
One of the best. Well, although, I mean, maybe he's trying to throw Flash off like Flash tried to throw him off last time they faced up. But Flash is already heading over to his base with some vultures and a tank. So I don't know if Fantasy's going to be prepared for this. It looks like Flash is also getting down his expansion at this point, a little bit later than Fantasy has gotten down his. And, I'm not sure how this will play out. It looks like Fantasy is going to be pretty well prepared for this. But 2 vultures and the tank, this could be bad.
Yeah, it could be. And, wow, I can't believe this. Fantasy immediately forced to pull his SCVs, and there's tanks all over his natural expansion from Flash. Flash doing a lot of damage here, and Fantasy's build seems to once again be a dud, but not that mine. That mine wasn't a dud. That mine got that tank, and now Fantasy has his SCVs surrounding the one tank. The tank goes down, but Flash right now is going to continue the pressure. Fantasy, meanwhile, has built a Wraith here. That's his option. I'm not sure if he's going to research Cloak or not. Doesn't look like Cloak is researching, so he's just going to get a couple of Wraiths. But Flash right now still has control over the ground, and right now he might be able to just finish off this game, especially if one of those mines explode on the tank and kill all the SCVs. Oh my goodness, Flash could get up the ramp right now. No, another tank up there. This is just so close. If Flash can't do more damage, I think he might be in a little trouble from the Wraith.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's got the perfect number, or he did anyway, have the perfect number of vultures attacking. 3 will one-shot, or I guess 3-shot technically, an SCV, which means he can take out a ton, and more mines going down. Flash forced to focus fire. My God, that was a lot of Fs in a row. And he's trying to take out those mines, but he just can't. And now that tank is totally locked in over there. There's no way for it to get out unless it slowly tries to hold position its way out of there. And a couple of Wraiths now looking to harass Flash in return. But it's going to be very difficult. He's got a lot of work to do in order to catch up to the economic damage he has taken from Flash. And Flash is just getting up that both Academy and, no, I don't know if that's an Academy or a, or no, he's already got the armory up. So that means that he's going to be well prepared. A couple of Goliaths going to pop out very shortly. And obviously, everybody knows that Wraiths are like porcelain and they just go down very quickly, especially to Goliath fire. Look at those tanks totally just marooned behind those minerals. And that's just going to be horrible for Fantasy. Fantasy is contained without even being contained. You know, it's like there's nothing there except for some spider mines. He can't go anywhere. Scan now going down, but it looks like that Academy is going to finish very shortly, and he's going to have 2 scans in order to be able to start scanning away these Wraiths, and they're going to run out of magic eventually as well. So I don't see this Wraith harass going very far.
It doesn't look like it will. I mean, I've just been wondering what these Wraiths have been doing this entire time while Flash was, having fun inside of Fantasy's natural expansion. But it looks like what probably they were doing is killing the barracks now that I see the barracks being rebuilt. Anyway, though, it doesn't look like they've done sufficient damage. Just look at the low kill numbers. That, just really, he needed to do a lot more damage if he was going to go for this Cloaked Wraith build. Now he's got a dropship. Gee, I wonder what's inside. Probably vultures. Let's see what happens. Maybe it's not vultures. Maybe it's siege tanks. I don't know. We'll see if Fantasy's fantasy build. It is the fantasy build for Terran. And you know what happens when someone goes to fantasy build. Do they win or they lose? They usually lose. And right now we're seeing he's doing some disruption, actually. Doing a good job multitasking. But it looks like inside of his main he is cleaned out. So, Flash has cleaned it out. And right now, I don't know what the kill counts are of those Wraiths. Maybe he's gotten 7 or 8 total. Yeah, that looks like 5. And oh, that's actually a lot. But, oh man, he's trying to detonate his mines using some risky business methods here. But I guess he just can't afford an academy, right?
Yeah, you know, I don't think he can because he's been so hurt with those so many SCVs were taken out by the good Vulture Harass, and here we see him try to take out those mines. Looks like one has gone off, another goes off. That tank is actually
Nice.
doing a very good job of that, but
Good
if he
job.
gets too close to the SCVs, that will take out the SCVs, so he'll have to definitely be careful about that. Glides are out now, though, and it looks like Flash is once again forcing his way down Fantasy's throat, figuratively, of course, and he's definitely making sure that it's going to be tough for Fantasy to get out of this position. And Fantasy, with only a dropship and a couple of units, not going to be able to do too much. It looks like Flash cleverly taking out his own mines to make sure he doesn't get caught in a very bad mine drag. And, oh, tank's getting taken out by one of the mines on the ground. The other tank being let go, and that's going to be huge. That's going to be it, I think, for Fantasy. Fantasy has just lost 2 tanks.
Yeah.
Flash is almost all of his units, all of which are going to do a lot of damage to those SCVs, and that dropship goes down. He obviously has a Karen booster upgrade. Now there's nothing left but vultures with spider mines, and, man, it looks like Flash is going to take this match.
Oh, it does. I'm just amazed. You know, this match has gone so long, and neither side's has gotten siege mode. I mean, it's just amazing. I just noticed no sieging. I mean, basically this game was a Vulture, Wraith, Goliath game with some tanks mixed in for fun. It looks like Fantasy is down to you know, just his Wraiths defending. I'm not in love with this build, to be honest. In general, GG coming from Flash. In general, I like Fantasy's play and his micro actually a lot more than his than his builds. But anyway, look at Flash, man. This kid's pumped. Man, that overclocking of his 8 CPUs seems to have gone well this time. Maybe they're going to install a water cooler up there. We never know how many fans are inside of his brain. It does look like, though, he has won this series for KTF, redeemed himself again. You know, I mean, in many parts, he's the one who has a lot to prove still this year, that he is still the little, you know, monster, the CPU Terran, the Terminator, the guy who's going to destroy Pro League and, you know, destroy everyone. And he's, you know, done that to Fantasy at least. Although, what would you say was a bigger factor, Flash's play or Fantasy's play in this game?
You know, that's a really good question, and I got to call it to Flash this time because really, I feel like he kept Fantasy off balance that entire game. He did the right things. He didn't expand too quickly. He wasn't, for once, Flash wasn't greedy, and so by playing it smart, he was able to win the match for his team. I mean, now KTF wins it 3-1 over SKT. I got to say, I actually think that was a very slight upset. Although I don't know what the stats are these days, but I would have thought that SKT would have pulled it out with Bisu and Best and other names who I can't remember off the top of my head. Fantasy, yeah, who just played. Hyuk. I mean, really, I thought, yeah, of course. Hyuk, by the way, is the one. Hyuk is the one actually in the mascot costume. That's why you haven't seen him lately.
Well, don't forget, the Zerg actually won a game. That guy in the end there with the face. Yeah, he actually won a game. He hasn't
the
been
guy
doing
with the
that
face.
since losing to Midas back when we thought he was good for about 2 minutes, like 3 MSLs ago. There is SKT1, though, with Boxer, of course, in the middle, for all of you who are like, you guys didn't recognize Boxer! Yes, he was on the screen. Oh my god! Oh my god! He says Bisu! It's like, you didn't see the guy in the 3rd row! That was Gwemchi! You didn't recognize Gwemchi! Yeah, no, I saw Gwemchi, man. I understand. Anyway, hope you guys
How did you
enjoyed
guys
the series.
not recognize Barracks?
How do you guys not recognize Hoja? Gross. All right. Well, any more thoughts on this match? Yeah, I've got nothing more. Good job, KTF.
I'm all set. I'm choking on pistachios. I'm all set. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Bye-bye.